You are not willing to concede anything. Oscar Pistorius will not take responsibility or concede anything. That's what you're doing to your own evidence.
Well, today was not the most dramatic day in court, but it was probably one of the most important, and I think it was Oscar Pistorius' worst day. He really did not perform well on the witness stand. He was back up for cross-examination. Gerrie Nel opened by asking him about the apology that he made to Reeva Steenkamp's mother a few days ago, basically accusing him of simply doing it for show, as a public spectacle for the world to see, suggesting that rather he should have done it in private. And to this, Pistorius responded tearfully, saying that he wanted to talk to Reeva Steenkamp's mother, June, but that he'd been advised that she wasn't ready for it. June has been sitting in court for much of his testimony and some of the other witnesses during the state's case as well. She told a UK newspaper that she was unmoved by that apology and that she sits there, she wants him to look her in the eye. He must look at her and know that she is there. Her eyes are boring into him. Then we got on to the Tasha's Melrose Arch incident, where Oscar Pistorius fired a loaded weapon in the public restaurant. It happened when his friend Darren Fresco passed him a gun under the table and the gun went off. Nel pushed him on this. Why didn't you take responsibility for it? And then we heard the startling concession from Oscar Pistorius that he said the gun was in his hand, but his finger was not on the trigger and he doesn't know how the shot went off.
Now, explain. You see, Mr. Pistorius, you're blaming everybody. You won't take responsibility. That gun cannot fire if you don't pull the trigger. Who pulled that trigger?
I didn't pull the trigger, my lady.
Who did?
I don't know, my lady. I didn't pull the trigger.
Then he got on to the substantive issue of the early hours of Valentine's morning and the night before that. What did he and Reeva do? But this is when Nel honed in on him. What side did you get up? How did you go? When did Reeva Steenkamp leave the room? We know that when he woke up, he spoke to Reeva Steenkamp. That was a new point that he made earlier this week. She said, "Can't you sleep, my Baba?" He then got up, tried to close the doors, according to his testimony. Nel wanted to know which side of the bed he got in, and when Reeva disappeared. When did she go to the toilet? And Oscar Pistorius couldn't remember. He didn't hear her, he said, because the fans were blowing in his face. But did you see her? No, I didn't see her, but I heard her. But the most telling admission came just before lunchtime, when Oscar Pistorius said not only did he not intend to shoot Reeva Steenkamp, he didn't intend to shoot anyone.
Well, lady, I'm getting confused with this accidentally and not accidentally. When I try to explain myself, I'm told to say it's either an accident or not. I've said time and time again what I perceived and what I thought. I don't understand. If it's not put to me, it was put to me yesterday that it was by accident, and now it's put to me it wasn't by accident. I don't understand, my lady. I'm saying that I didn't intend to shoot. My firearm was pointed at the door because that's where I believed that somebody was. When I heard a noise, I didn't have time to think, and I fired my weapon. It was an accident.
He couldn't say where the fans were plugged in. He seemed very confused. All of this, once again, casting doubt on his case. His memory was selective. He couldn't remember, for example, the incident with the shooting through a roof in a car. He says that never happened, and then that Darren Fresco and Sam Taylor must have made it up. When Nel pushed him on this, he said, well, how do you know? They must have been communicating. Pistorius said, when did they communicate? How do you know this? Well, no, he doesn't know, but people told him. Which people told him? Oh, I can't remember. At which point Nel burst out laughing. So did the gallery. The judge had to intervene, saying, please don't let that happen again. This is not entertainment. Nel apologized, and we all looked trite for doing so. But it was funny, because there's been a lot of things he can't remember. Yet, he remembers in graphic detail the actual sequence of things when he got up out of that bed to close the balcony door. But the things that are difficult, that memory suddenly vanishes. And the prosecution's going to bring that up when they sum up this case. A bad day for Oscar Pistorius on the stand.
You're all right,